let's be honest here. Women just to look alike is not important.
You're wearing makeup right now, right?
No, I am wearing makeup,
okay,
and
so
I do not. No.
The essence of a beauty pageant isn't just about that. Who is the best girl that can represent their organization? So in a way, that is business, but that is a smart business move.
My problem is with the entire system of how beauty pageant runs. In the name of empowerment, do we really have to put the participant in fancy dresses and full of makeup, make them walk in the stage and ask some generic line of questions and every answers are literally the same all the time? Is that what empowerment has come down to in this modern age?
Hi, I'm Dipika Garrett and I am Miss Universe Nepal 2023, a model, entrepreneur, and content creator. Do follow my channel, Jade Dipika. I think beauty pageants are really cool for women as they empower us to stand up for what we believe in and to showcase ourselves in a platform that we want to present ourselves in. So I totally believe in beauty pageants and nothing can faze me.
Hi, my name is Pushpika and I'm a law student. I love engaging and discussing new viewpoints, but this time I'm not changing my mind. And to my core, I believe that beauty pageants are nothing but a curse to the modern society.
Hey, what's up? How are you doing? Good?
I'm good.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. So for me, I think that beauty pageants really help empower women. Personally, I've learned a lot of different skills that I otherwise wouldn't have learned. I was able to just really grow and learn as a woman, just become an all-rounded woman in general. So that's kind of what I think about beauty pageants. I think it's a really important learning experience. It just gives you really good life experiences to help you just grow and just become the person that you want to be.
In my opinion, and we have seen this over the years as well, beauty pageant, I think, is nothing but a pure business agenda for men to launch their companies and use women as object and capitalize on the insecurity of the modern society. And it is nothing but a curse to the modern society. And I do not think we need beauty pageants to empower people in this generation and in this age of social media. Let us stress back to the history of how beauty pageants were started. So beauty pageant was started on Atlantic City back in 1920s, where hotel owner started a parade of women on street in the name of beauty pageant in order to attract tourists in his hotel. Tracing back to the history of beauty pageants, we see that the main purpose of it was always to objectify women and use them as commodities to attract more people and gain money through it.
Beauty is always celebrated. Actually, in history, women love to showcase beauty and love to have a beauty standard for themselves. It's not even always men. For example, Kim Kardashian, there's many influencers and women that try to influence other women and the general population and kind of this is how you should look, or this is how beauty looks like, right? That's the start of beauty pageants. That's in the 1920s, but right now we're in the 2020s. So right now, I feel like beauty pageants have actually changed over the course of time, and they have become way more empowering and really have taught women to become confident, to learn different skills. It's not only just about, showcasing their beauty, and it's not only about outer beauty, because a lot of girls, they're all beautiful. For example, when I was in Miss Universe, every single girl was gorgeous. And you can't just be oh, who's the most beautiful one, that she's gonna win. That's not the case. It was who was competent, who actually did well in the competition. And while I agree with you, sometimes it is a business ploy. I have seen that can be a business ploy, but that's not only that's what it's about, I've interviewed so many women and talked to so many women themselves, and the skills that they've learned, the things that they've learned, it's just it outshines whatever the business owners' schemes are, yes, they might have schemes, but it's yeah.
I agree with some of your points, but my major agenda still stands here, is that in the name of empowerment, do we really have to put the participant in fancy dresses and full of makeup, make them walk in the stage and ask some generic line of questions and every answers are literally the same all the time? And is that what empowerment has come down to in this modern age? And let's not forget the fact that the judges that sit in the panel mostly are the sponsor's representative. So in this day and age, you can host a beauty pageant, you can put some money in it, I can be the judge and I can pick my winner. So that means that I can buy my own beauty pageant winner and make her the marketable talent for a year and make her parade in my product and sell my product. I don't think that there is anything beyond this that has come out of beauty pageant.
I understand what you mean by it can be controversial in that way where like the competition can be rigged. The essence of a beauty pageant isn't just about that. You know, like when you enter into a beauty pageant, of course, the organizer is going to also have a put and a say on who is the best candidate for them. Like they also have to see who is the best girl that can represent their organization. So in a way that is business, but that is a smart business move. If I was having a business, I wouldn't just choose some random person to represent my business. I would choose the best candidate for my business, right? They're kind of like the face of my brand. So in a way, that's how a beauty pageant works. That's not true what you said. Like they're not always like random sponsors or sponsors of the beauty pageant. I was chosen to judge competition. I had no sponsorship. I had nothing. I went to India and I judged the competition fair and square. When a woman goes into a beauty pageant, like they also have advocacy. So it's not only about looking like your best, wearing gowns, you know, looking beautiful, wearing swimsuit. That's a part of beauty pageants. But the other part of it is giving back to the community, actually trying to make an effort to help the community and help the country that they're representing. So for me, like I gave a huge amount of advocacy for PCOS and body positivity and mental and hormonal health, which a lot of people didn't know about in Nepal. Most people didn't even know what PCOS is. And I gave so much. I was able to bring a lot of awareness about that. And I didn't get to do as much work as I wanted to do because, like you said, sometimes the organizers are not always the best, right? And I agree with you on the organizers. Sometimes they can be rigged. Sometimes they can be business minded. Sometimes they're not always looking out the best for their winner, right? Which is true. But if there's a good organizer that's fair, you know, is actually doing their job properly, I think that beauty pageants can be done very well. They're not just only looking at a business mindset. I think they can really help the nation and help the girl as well to develop her career, because it's also the girl is also helping to develop her career. She's also developing the beauty pageants career as well, like the beauty pageants business as well, you know, by being the face of the brand. So many people in beauty pageants, they've been able to, you know, become actresses, models, TV personalities. I mean, they've been able to boost their career in many multiple ways. And a lot of girls want to do that, right? It's not that they just want to be used by an organizer. And I don't know, I just think that advocacy is also really important. And for example, in Miss Universe, they chose this one winner. She wasn't the most prettiest, she wasn't the best, but they chose her because of her advocacy, what she was doing. She was literally working in her fashion brand to help with human trafficking survivors. And so she really, really contributed to the organization.
Interesting that you brought advocacy in the picture, because what I've noticed is one of the major beauty pageant was just completed, I think, a month back in Nepal. Interesting to notice that how suddenly before participating in the beauty pageant, 2 months ago, they start their organization in the name of advocacy. And if we were to follow up on the data, there's no follow-up that they do after they lose the beauty pageant or after they do not make it to the top 10. Number one is that. Number two, I think you have agreed that half of it is business as well. So I'm already halfway through to converting you that beauty pageants are not really the thing that they actually advocate it to be. Secondly, you also mentioned that a lot of actresses, TV personality, models are born out of beauty pageants. And this is my very point as well. Empowerment is not just limited to entertainment industry. If we want models, TV personality out of beauty pageants, then why don't we just advertise it as a show program to launch women into entertainment industry? Because let's be honest, how many, just give me 10 names of social activists that have born out of beauty pageants and give me 10 names of actresses that have born out of beauty pageants. And let's be honest here, you can definitely name more people in entertainment industry than in actual social activism, which is what beauty pageant always advertise themselves as, a powerhouse of women empowerment and whatnot. So why don't we just advertise beauty pageant as a launch pad to entertainment industry rather than faking the feminism and women empowerment? I do not have problem with beauty pageant winners getting into entertainment industry. My problem lies with beauty pageant being marketed as a place where they give birth to social activists and fake it in the name of women empowerment and feminism, which sets the feminist movement 10 years back. And let's be honest, radical feminism stands for women embracing their beauty in their natural self, not with heavy designer dresses and makeups and fitting into the typical stereotypical beauty standards.
That's why I went into beauty pageants, because I wanted to go against that and I wanted to break that stereotype and that standard, right? I'm not a beauty pageant type of girl. I'm plus size, I'm curvy, but I just showed everybody my real personality, and I showed that, and I tried to break that, because like you said, I do agree with you. A lot of beauty pageants, they have that this is the type of girl that we need, this is the type of girl that we want. We have to groom the girls to look this way, to act this way, right? But that's not a healthy beauty standard for women. So I agree with you on that part. But there's also a lot of skills that women learn from beauty pageants. A lot of women are able to learn public speaking, are able to learn interview skills, are able to learn confidence. Like for me personally, I learned interview skills, I learned public speaking, I learned how to walk properly, I learned how to carry myself with poise, right? And a lot of girls don't know that. So in a way, that is empowering for me because you're teaching girls how to become your best version of yourself. It's not always trying to be a certain way, but for me, like my ideal beauty pageant would be trying to help girls become their best version of themselves. And that is my ideal look of a beauty pageant, right? And I feel like a lot of beauty pageants are changing slowly towards that. For example, the Miss Universe, the biggest beauty pageant, while it is also a business, which is, of course, you have to make money from everything. You can't just do it as a charity project, right? It also is accepting women for how they are. They're literally accepting women, married women, pregnant women, transgender women. They're accepting, women of all colors, of different shapes and sizes, of different height now. So they're open to different looks, to different standards, to different types of women, which I really like that now because before it wasn't like that. But I like that they've changed and that they've slowly, become more open to society's, different cultures, different women, different types of looks. I think that's really amazing.
Kudos to Miss Universe for including all this, being so inclusive. Kudos to them for that. But having a look at your own interview, you mentioned once that till top 20, they did include all the inclusive participants, but coming down to top 10, they included 6 Latino women in the country where the Miss Universe pageant was taking place. So we can agree that at the end of the day, the inclusivity is just for TRP and for views and to gather a large amount of audience. Because let's be honest, in this capitalistic society, businesses are smart enough to include people so that they can reach to the huge community of audience to sell their product. So when they come down to top 10, why did they select 6 Latino women out of all the numerous women and all the inclusive participants?
And did you notice they removed everybody? Like they removed all the inclusive girls?
Yes, your words, not mine. I'm re-quoting your words. So yes, Miss Universe, you have serious study to do and maybe try to be more inclusive in top 10 as well from next time. Moving on to how there are more rigged results and exploitative contracts. Let's not forget that Donald Trump had to pay $500 million because Miss Universe sued him for rigged results and exploitative contract. I've sent the links, so please put it up when the video is up. So yes,
But that's before, this is not now. We're talking about the new era of beauty pageants.
Yes.
And that there is a new era of beauty pageants that are coming up. For example, the one that I judged, right? He was so inclusive and he accepted women of all walks of life and it was judged fair and square. I made sure it was judged because I was one of the judges. I was like, we got to do it according to how competent they are. And like, I feel like there is a new era of beauty pageants that are coming up. Of course, like you said, it is very business minded. Donald Trump is a businessman. The new owner of Miss Universe, she is a businesswoman, right? Of course, they're going to do business. Miss Universe and all these big beauty pageants are a business, but they are also an entertainment show, maybe why a lot of the women go into entertainment afterwards. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Why is that a bad thing? I don't understand why that's a bad thing for you, because if I want to become an actress and if that boosted me up to become an actress, because I made history, right? And if I didn't get to be in Miss Universe, nobody would have known my name. And maybe I wanted to make a point, and the point was break all beauty standards, break all those stereotypes, right? You can't discredit what I did, because what I did was out of this world, crazy, amazing. And like you said, I agree with what you said. Like a lot of women do try to just be a typical beauty pageant girl. A lot of women just try to fit into this typical stereotype. For example, Miss Grand International is a beauty pageant that the owner is very strict and he only wants the girl to look a certain way, like size 0. He only wants that, right? But the thing is, that's one person. That's not every beauty pageant. Like I said, beauty pageants are evolving. And like I understand what you're saying. Beauty pageants maybe have evolved because of their business ploys or because they're trying to accept more of society and more people and more viewers, right? But I also feel like they are also changing with society's viewpoints as well, to break down stereotypes, to break down, beauty standards, right? In a way, it's kind of like a platform for girls to just show who they are, show that they're competent, show what they can do to the world, and show how they can also help the world and represent their country. Like you said, of course, there are politics. Every single thing has politics. Even in your law school, there are politics in that school. I mean, there's literally politics in every single thing. And I also think, for example, this nation, Nepal, we really need to stop having politics and everything and actually be professional and actually work properly. So that comes in all aspects, not just beauty pageants. But I like you said, I agree with you. A lot of beauty pageants in Nepal, I would say probably 90% of them, it is mostly business, and they do it for business and for money and to exploit girls. They do exploit girls a lot. I have seen it and I have experienced it firsthand, which I am releasing a video. Please watch my video. Okay. and I've seen the evolution of girls' growth. So many girls that have gone to beauty pageants, they've like literally like they couldn't even walk, they couldn't even talk, and then now they can like literally walk, they can talk, they can public speak, they can speak in front of thousands of people. That takes a lot of guts. The fact that beauty pageants are teaching them that, I think that's really amazing. I understand what you mean about the advocacy thing. For example, in the beauty pageant 2 months ago, they just showcase that they have an advocacy, and then after they don't win, they stop the advocacy. So in a way, they're just doing that just to win that beauty pageant. Like I said, a lot of girls do that, right? But that doesn't define the beauty pageant itself. If people can try to fake their way in it, but a lot of beauty pageant people can see right through that. Are you real? Are you authentic? What beauty pageants are actually looking for? We're looking for authentic girls who actually can help make a change. Not just, are they the same beauty pageant girl every single time? Do they look the same? Do they act the same? It's not always about that anymore.
Let me make this clear that never have I ever, bashed down any beauty queens, or I'm not trying to discredit anyone's achievement here. Yeah. My problem is with the entire system of how beauty pageant runs. And me as a woman in her mid-20s or early 20s who's doing well in her career would not divert my mind into beauty pageants, waste my half a year or more than a year in that time that I could have invested in my career just in the hope of getting a crown and so-called representing the nation in the international arena. Let's be honest here. We cannot be throwing 20 or so women under the bus just for the sake of one woman to win the crown. This instills inferiority complex in rest of the women, and not just rest of the women, but to all the viewers who are watching at home. Most of the people who compete in beauty pageants, their idea of why they participate in beauty pageant is because it was their childhood dream. So let's understand here how we are impacting the upcoming generation to follow this trend of getting into beauty pageants. And honestly, let's not train young minds to think like that. An outfit, a makeup, a bunch of training of women just to look alike is not important in order to be empowered. And if we were to go to the facade of child and teen beauty pageants, that's a whole another story.
I mean, you're wearing makeup right now, right?
No, I am wearing makeup,
okay,
and
so
I do not. No.
Makeup and jewelry?
I do not have problem with makeup. I do not have problem with women wearing fancy clothes, and I do not even have problem with women going to entertainment industry after beauty pageant. But
so then why are you against it?
I am against it because it's just the propaganda for multinational companies to sell their products. And if women want to go to entertainment industry after beauty pageants, so be it. But advertise it as a launch pad to go to beauty industry. For example, exists a show called Next Top Model, right? They're fair about it. They tell the girls, come, walk here, showcase your beauty. They'll be industrial experts. They'll pick you and make you models. Be fair like that. Do not give false ideas to women, especially in country like Nepal, where literacy rate is so low. People can be very easily manipulated here, and we cannot manipulate young girls and young people, not just girls, young men and women both, into getting into this and thinking that they represent a nation. And let's be honest here. Who wins beauty pageants most often? It's the girls. No shade to you, not at all. But most of the winners who win beauty pageants are the girls who have spent all their life abroad. They come back to Nepal 6 months ago, train, learn the language, pretend like they know the culture, go to the typical tourist areas, film a video, and tell that I want to represent my country in the international level.
I've lived in this country for 14 years.
No. I said no shade to you at all. But most of the beauty pageant winners, I can take names if you want to, but I do not want to play name taking here. I don't want any lawsuits in my name. But let's be honest. And you can fact check this. Most of the beauty pageant winners in Nepal are the people who come from abroad and tell that they know about the country.
How is that a point?
My point is that here...
I don't get how that's a point.
I will tell you.
Maybe because they can, like what the judges are looking for is like, they can speak well. I'm not saying that the ones who are not international cannot speak well, but I don't know. It's just kind of like maybe they're just looking for like a girl that like has well-spoken is well-spoken. I think that's what they're kind of looking for. To represent the country, you also need somebody who can speak well. And a lot of the girls that have won, they speak well. And like you said, this is a competition, right? And it puts girls down because there's only one winner, and then all the other girls feel like crap, right? Because they didn't win, right? But a beauty pageant is kind of like a sport for girls in a way. And if you're so against like a beauty pageants being a competition, so in a way you're also against sports, and you're also against competitions in general, because there's only one winner in sports, right? The Olympics happen. Should the Olympics not happen as well? I mean, the Olympics, there's only one winner. There's only one gold, right? And in a way, a competition actually does help you, because if it's not a competition, then you don't have any drive or motivation to become your best and to do your best. That winning thing really, really helps you to give your best and give your all. It's like a sport. They're all amazing athletes, but there's only one goal. And it doesn't mean that the other athletes are not good enough. It just means that that person won. It was their day.
That is very true. But then I think you missed the major point here, because I don't think in sports we choose winners on the basis of some vague judging criteria or on the basis of some vague world issues that every year somehow the contestant managed to give the same answers, same questions from the judges as well. And let me bring this up. The questions are mostly focused on how can we empower women? How can women contribute further into the economy? As if the women are not contributing in the economy actively right now. I think what Beauty Pageant is trying to do is to re-emphasize the idea that, oh, women, come here, you're not doing well enough. You're not contributing to the society well enough. So let me make you an object. Let me make you a mannequin for designer dresses. Let you walk in this fancy hall that we have designed for a day and earn some money out of you because you do not actively contribute to economy. So let's contribute like this. This is what beauty pageants have become.
So many of the beauty pageant girls, they have careers, but they go into beauty pageants themselves because they want that platform to share what they're passionate about. The organizers of the beauty pageant chooses the girls who best fit their organization. And that's not a bad thing. That's a real business strategy. And I'm also a businesswoman too. I wouldn't just choose a random girl to represent my brand. And that girl is representing my brand, but I'm also helping that girl as well. If I was a beauty pageant person, that girl's getting so many opportunities out of the beauty pageant if she wins, even if there's no winners. If, for example, Miss Universe, they gave so many more opportunities to girls even after the winner, Miss Nicaragua, was chosen, right? So many girls were able to travel. They were able to get more exposure. So many girls went to Cannes Film Festival. They went to all these different events. I mean, they got exposure for themselves, and that's a lot of what girls want, you know? But for example, my whole point was why I joined the beauty pageant was because I wanted to boost my confidence, like learn a lot of things. But then when I won, I became so empowered to break basic stereotypes that women have, you know, that there's a beauty standard, that there's plus size models or curvy models are not beautiful enough, right? I mean, we're normal sized women, and why should only skinny, thin women be the winners, right? So that's the whole point of why I went there. In a way, I was empowering women. Like you said, not everybody does that thing. They're not always empowering women, I understand. But it just depends on each person, I suppose. And I think it depends on each organization, because not every beauty pageant is the same.
I think we discussed too much on how beauty pageant actually goes. Now, let us move on to the aftermath of beauty pageants and how beauty queens live their life after winning a beauty pageant. No shade to all the beauty queens. They are doing amazing in their career. But a few reports and studies show that people who have participated in beauty pageants, especially in child beauty pageants, have suffered from eating disorder all their life. And 57% of people who have participated in beauty pageants are actively trying to lose weight always. So this statistics shows that how much of a harm beauty pageant is giving to women than the actual good that they advocate about in the name of empowerment.
In a way, I understand your point. Like, there shouldn't be that pressure to lose weight or to look a certain way, like I said. For example, athletes need to look good. They have to have a certain type of body to perform their sport, right? And I'm not saying beauty pageants, like the girls have to look a certain way to perform their beauty pageantry. In a way, you need to be fit and healthy. And of course, you might need to diet, you might need to eat healthy, you might need to exercise to present yourself in the best way possible. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, as long as it's not unhealthy or toxic. But a lot of people in the entertainment industry, like models, actresses, I mean, they all diet like extremely to look a certain way. And that's really unhealthy. I mean, I agree with you, like we should stop that, you know? For example, like if all the winners are always stick thin, they look a certain way, as a little girl, you're looking at that, oh, I want to be like that someday. The girls are going to have this unhealthy mindset, like, oh, I need to starve myself, I need to diet, I need to do this, I need to do that to look like her, you know? And it's like, she's my icon, you know? For example, you know, like the Barbie doll, they had such a unhealthy look, and then they're showing that, and then girls are playing with that. Little girls want to look like that, little girls want to be like that. I mean, I struggled with eating disorders as well when I was a child. I mean, I think a lot of girls do when they're growing up.
Yes. Another side of beauty pageant that is not being talked about much enough is the horror of child and teen beauty pageants. Okay, after the age of 18, free will and blah, 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 you can go and participate, free choice. But why are we forcing the child and teenage people to go into beauty pageants? And it has become like a pyramid scheme, you know. You go to a child, Miss Child, something, something, then you go to Miss Teen, then you go and further participate into Miss Nepal. You know, in the hopes of climbing the ladder, this child at the age where they cannot figure out what is right and wrong for them, and even the schools who are promoting, who are allowing this business people to come into their schools and advertise child beauty pageants. This is utter bullshit at this point, and it needs to stop.
Some girls actually want to do it. Some girls get pressured from their mother or from, family members, right? One example I know is that in the South American countries, a lot of girls do that because that's their only source of income and that's their only way that they can achieve their status, because poverty levels are so low. That's like their only way that they can actually achieve a higher status in their life. Like they do that since they're a young girl. They go through all these surgeries, all these different things, and just in hopes of one day winning that beauty pageant, they literally groom themselves since, like, from the age of 4, so then they can have a higher status from their family. So in a way, that is a huge pressure for them, and that's not healthy. They should have a free will and a free choice, but their family is just trying to boost their status as economy, because they're so poor and they're going through so much poverty, and that's really difficult. The schools promoting that and everything, I don't really think that's a bad thing, because like you said, I mean, even in schools they have competitions, right? They have sports competitions for boys. A lot of boys participate in that. A lot of girls don't want to do sports competition. A lot of girls want to do beauty, or a lot of girls want to do art. People, if they want to participate in that, they should be given a choice to participate in that. And even if she doesn't win, it's not the end of the world, And like, we should teach girls, like, okay, even if you're going into a beauty pageant, if you don't win, it doesn't mean that you're not worthy enough. It doesn't mean that you're not competent to win. It just means that, okay, you went into a competition, you didn't win, okay, that's fine.
A lot of countries who are fixated on beauty pageants mostly seem to be the country who are doing economically, who are poor and who have low literacy rate. So are we diverting our mind towards something which is less important? Do you think that most countries who fixate on beauty pageants are the country who have low literacy rate, higher poverty rate?
So you're saying that USA has a low literacy?
No, USA does not fixate on beauty pageants as much.
They do.
Honestly, USA does not fixate on beauty pageants because I have data as well, because the beauty pageant viewership rate has dropped significantly in USA, and NBC 2020 dropped their contract with Miss USA. That shows that how countries who have developed, who have higher rate of literacy, are no more fixating on beauty pageants and rely on them in the name of empowerment. And mostly countries who have lower GDP literacy rate, they fixate on beauty pageants.
Well, maybe in a way, the beauty pageants are like a way of like entertainment for them, the lower literacy rate countries.
Exactly.
Maybe it's entertainment for them. Maybe it's like, a way for them to escape their struggles in their life. Philippines and Thailand, I mean, they're pretty developed countries, and they're obsessed with beauty pageants. Like you said, are we diverting them to grow their economy and boost themselves? I don't think a beauty pageant can divert a whole nation to lower their economy or distract themselves from boosting their economy. I think that 80% of the population of the world are struggling with poverty, and just having a beauty pageant isn't going to change that. What's going to change that is a bunch of billionaires and a bunch of the elite people taking all the wealth from the people and not sharing it. That has nothing to do with beauty pageants. A lot of women in beauty pageants, they try to advocate for health. The previous Miss Universe, Nepal, she literally did a project for menstrual health for women in villages. So she gave awareness. I mean, in a way, this is a platform to help women to educate the population of the world in different ways, and in whatever way that they're passionate about,
Two things. Beauty pageant winners doing advocacy is, for me, it is similar to billionaires doing charity. It is just to soften the blow, in my opinion. Secondly, if beauty pageant and its training station were to make a woman well-rounded, then why do participants obsessively come back in another year just to snatch the crown? Does that mean that at the end of the day, beauty pageants are just for clout? Because you know very well what I'm talking about.
Well, some women want to do that. That doesn't mean every woman is like that. There's different reasons why women go to beauty pageants, or why there are beauty pageants, right? Miss Universe is more focused on advocacy. It's more focused on charity. It's more focused on, different things like that. Miss Grand International beauty pageant is focused on being, dramatic, ecstatic. So it's like each beauty pageant has its own agenda and its own organization. If a beauty pageant is all about being the most beautiful, then that's their beauty pageant, right? If another beauty pageant is about empowering women, that's their beauty pageant. But you can't take all beauty pageants in one go and say, okay, they're all the same, they're all like that. They may be good, they may be bad, but you can't put them down and say, oh, beauty pageants are all bad. For example, girls go to beauty pageants for all different reasons. I went to boost my confidence. I didn't think I would win. I won. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to change this world stereotypes. I'm going to be a bomb for everybody, And I did it, right? And other girls, they go in it just to win, right? Of course you want to win. You go in it to win, of course, because they want that platform. They want to be in the spotlight. A lot of people want to express themselves. They want to do different things. And it doesn't mean that beauty pageants are bad themselves. It just means that each person's intentions are different. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Would you agree that there are more better ways which would not harm women's mental health? Not just women, any participant's mental health. More substantive ways to empower people rather than beauty pageants. Do you believe that beauty pageant is the final peak to empower people?
No, I don't believe that. I think there are multiple ways that you can empower people. But a beauty pageant itself doesn't have to disempower somebody or empower somebody, you know?
So that is my very point, that beauty pageant does more harm than good, and there are a lot of other substantive alternative to empower contestant without sending them to beauty pageants. Do you think beauty pageants boost consumerism in the society? You know, the GDP 4 factors, the first one, consumerism, the constant buying of goods, the maximalism principle, because since beauty pageant has a lot of viewers and they advertise a lot of products in it, do you think that it makes young women feel mandatory to use those products to be presentable in the society?
No. I mean, there's consumerism in everything. So
yes, exactly. So
don't
you agree that beauty pageant further boosts it?
I mean, it's just like any business and advertising different products. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Do you think it can be financially exploitative on the participating contestant?
If the competition is rigged, then it can be. You have to invest in something that you want, right? If you're investing in your law degree, you have to invest in it. So for a beauty pageant, you also have to invest, as long as they're not exploiting you and as long as they're not overcharging.
You know how beauty pageants, they award scholarship at the end in most of the Western countries. But I think they collect the sponsorship fund in the process of beauty pageant by making the participant pay for a lot of things and even the basic trainings. Do you agree to that or not?
Some beauty pageants do, not all.
Also, when beauty pageant winners go and represent themselves in the international platform, do you think Western philosophy is more prioritized, Western beauty standards are more prioritized, which is causing cultural assimilation?
No. I just think that they usually choose a country that's more beauty pageant famous. Choosing, for example, a country like Norway or like, you know, Nepal, it wouldn't really help the organization business-wise. So then they usually choose a country that's more like beauty pageant oriented or very like obsessed with beauty pageants, because that will help boost their business as well. And it's not that they're against the culture, it's just more like, I think it's a business thing that they're doing.
So there's no point for Nepali beauty pageant winners to waste all that money, isn't it?
I mean, I think that they can still go and have that experience and represent their country. I mean, I got top 20, so...
Also, with this age criteria in beauty pageants, don't you think it reinforces the idea that youth and empowerment coexist, but once you pass a certain age, then you have no value in the society or you no more can contribute to the society?
No, it's not that. I think that as a woman ages older, they become more wise, they have more life experiences. And so a younger woman wouldn't have as much life experience, or for example, like they have more beauty in a sense that they're more youthful, right? And then an older woman is aging, but she has more life experience and more wisdom. So then there would be a huge gap in the competition if there was an older woman and then a very young woman, right? So then I think that the age thing isn't that bad of a thing. I think that it's pretty standard to have an age thing, because it's like for younger women to kind of like boost their career and grow and be on that platform, and kind of like they're growing as they're young. So I don't think that's a bad thing.
Is it a standard, or is it easier for the organizers to exploit young women? You said that the old age women are more wiser and everything.
If I was competing with a 40-year-old woman, I wouldn't have as much experience or knowledge as she would have, right? And that wouldn't be fair in the competition, would it? It wouldn't. France
has put a ban on all child and beauty pageants, I think about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you think Nepal should move forward with the policy of banning child and teen beauty pageants, at least for now?
No, because I think that as long as the pageant isn't exploiting, but the thing is, a lot of pageants in Nepal are like, they are exploiting, they are mostly business oriented, they are mostly just trying to take money. But if it's not like that, then I think that it can be a fun competition for girls and they can grow, they can learn a lot of things.
I think we have a very famous evidence of when it went beyond fun and one of the participant of child beauty pageant was abused, and when she called for help from a very famous beauty queen, she replied that it is completely okay for this to happen in this industry, and she didn't even acknowledge the fact that she was assaulted. So I want to reinforce the idea that at least child and teen beauty pageants should be banned in Nepal.
I mean, you can't just ban something just because a few incidences have happened. And those kind of incidences have happened in every industry, in every place. We should provide more education and awareness about these things. And, you know, because like I've noticed a lot of, in the industry, a lot of girls have to give their bodies just to become more famous or to get opportunities from men. And that's very unfair. That's very exploitative of women. But that's in every industry.
I think if it poses threat to a large group of people, then it it should be a matter of concern for the government. But moving on, male beauty pageants do exist, and you do agree that they have less viewership than women's beauty pageant, right? Do you agree to the point male beauty pageants viewership is low and women beauty pageants viewership is high because people love objectifying women, and beauty pageants is further re-emphasizing that?
I don't think they're objectifying women. I mean, some can be objectifying women, but anybody can be objectified in anything. But it was originally started for women, you know, to enhance women's beauty and to show women's beauty. And there's nothing wrong with that, because women are beautiful in the sense where, like, men are very visual and men like to look at beauty. Men would prefer to look at women beauty pageants, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's just, I mean, as long as you don't make it sexual and you do it plainly for the thing of the competition, then I don't think that's a bad thing. If there's lots of viewerships, I mean, you need viewers to boost your business, right? As long as you don't make it sexualized, then I think it's okay.
I disagree to my core that beauty pageants should exist, and what I strongly believe is that child beauty pageants and teen beauty pageants should be stopped right now, because it does not make sense at all for predatory men to sit in the judging panel and judge women, child of under 18 years. Before their frontal lobe develops, don't put them against each other. Don't pitch them against each other. And if beauty pageant does create a platform for women to go to the entertainment business, then why don't you advertise it as a platform to go into entertainment business, and don't sell it in the name of feminism and women empowerment? Don't manipulate young minds into getting into this. Well, Malala did not need beauty pageants to start her social activism or fight for her country. Neither did Anuradha Koirala or Pushpa Bosnet. So I think there are more substantive ways to empower youth, and beauty pageant is not at all an option.
I believe that beauty pageants can be very empowering for women and can teach a lot of lifelong skills for women. While I also think that we shouldn't be exploiting girls and trying to just make it all about business, I do see that side as well. But overall, if a beauty pageant was an idealistic beauty pageant for me, would be a very empowering beauty pageant for women and would help women to express themselves and to join a platform that they can express their beliefs and fight for what they believe in, and basically just grow as a whole human being. And that opportunity for them is really, really amazing, and it outweighs the cons, in my opinion. While I also think that there's a lot of cons to beauty pageants and that it can be toxic for people, we should obviously change those viewpoints. And I think that there's toxicity in every single industry, in every single workplace, and we need to all bring awareness for that and bring education for that, and to try to encourage each other to be better as an overall human being. I think there's different platforms for each person to express themselves and to stand for what they believe in. And just because you go to a beauty pageant doesn't mean you have to go into entertainment industry or whatever. There's different ways to express yourself and to share your opinions, and I don't think there's anything wrong with going into a beauty pageant as long as it's a healthy and proper way to go into it. I think that you can choose to do what you want. And like she said, beauty pageants should be banned in teens and little girls, but then that means we should also ban sports and we should also ban other competitions, because if you want to ban one competition, then why can't we ban all? Because that doesn't make any sense to just ban a competition just based on beauty. I mean, sports is also physical attractiveness to me, and I think that we should just bring more awareness and try to build a fair competition for each person. Converting, because I have my pros and cons for each view, and I think that we can obviously find middle ground and everything.
I would never convert in favor of beauty pageants. If I would convert, that would be when they would stop advertising themselves as women empowerment and feminist platforms.
Thank you so much for watching our discussion. And if you really, really liked our discussion, comment down below what is your opinion and what you think about it.
Thank you, Yuwa Hub, for giving us this opportunity. Follow their Instagram page and head over to their website if you want to have further conversation like this in future. Thank you.
And do follow my YouTube channel, Jade, Dipika, and get to know more about me. Bye.
Bye-bye.